General Hospital reveals Parry Shen's return. Brad Cooper shakes Port Charles, an explosive weekly preview. Port Charles has always thrived on secrets, second chances, and the ghosts of mistakes that never truly stay buried. But this week, General Hospital pulls back the curtain on a return that promises to rattle the hospital halls, fracture friendships, and reignite old rivalries with surgical precision. In its latest weekly preview, ABC confirms what fans have been whispering about for months. Parry Shen is back as Brad Cooper, and his homecoming is anything but quiet. Brad's return isn't just another familiar face popping up at the Metro Court bar. This is a calculated reentry, timed to perfection, and aimed straight at the fault lines running beneath Port Charles. Guilt, redemption, temptation, and love all collide as Brad steps back into a town that hasn't forgotten what he did, or what is capable of doing next. What follows is a deep dive into the preview's biggest reveals, the emotional fallout Brad's return will unleash, and why Parry Shen's performance may redefine the character's legacy forever. The weekly preview opens with a deceptively calm shot of General Hospital itself. The camera glides through familiar corridors, the hum of monitors, hurried footsteps, clipped conversations between doctors. Then, the tone shifts. A figure pauses just inside the entrance. The lighting is subtle, but unmistakable. A familiar silhouette. A hesitant breath. And then, Brad Cooper. The music drops out, replaced by a faint echo of memory. For longtime viewers, it's a gut punch. Brad isn't smiling. He's not scheming, at least not yet. He looks nervous, changed, or perhaps simply older, heavier with the weight of everything he's done. Parry Shen plays the moment beautifully. There's no grand entrance, no dramatic line of dialogue. Just presence. And in General Hospital, presence is power. Because the second Brad walks back into that hospital, every secret he buried threatens to claw its way back to the surface. Brad Cooper has always existed in the gray spaces of General Hospital. He's not a traditional villain. He's not a hero. He's a survivor, sometimes selfish, sometimes selfless, often reckless, and always emotional. His past is loaded with landmines. The baby swap that shattered lives. His complicated, enduring love for Lucas Jones. His morally questionable decisions driven by fear and desperation. His tangled relationship with Britt Westbourne. His criminal consequences, and the guilt that followed. Brad didn't just make mistakes. He changed the course of multiple lives. And that's why his return matters. Port Charles is a town built on memory. Nobody forgets. And nobody truly forgives without a price. No relationship defines Brad Cooper more than Lucas Jones. The preview teases their reunion with agonizing restraint. A single shot, Lucas turning, sensing someone behind him. His face shifts from confusion to shock to something dangerously close to heartbreak. Lucas and Brad were never simple. Their love story was messy, deeply emotional, and ultimately destroyed by lies that cut too deep to ignore. Brad's role in the baby swap didn't just betray Lucas, it shattered his trust in everything they built together. Now Brad is back. And Lucas is forced to confront the man he loved, the man who hurt him, and the man he never fully stopped caring about. The preview hints that their first real conversation will be explosive. Lucas doesn't run. He doesn't scream. He stands his ground. And Brad? Brad looks like he's been waiting for this reckoning since the day he left town. Brad's return splits Port Charles right down the middle. Some see a man who's served his time and deserves a second chance. Others see a walking reminder of trauma that never fully healed. Elizabeth Baldwin watches him cautiously, memories of hospital chaos flickering behind her eyes. Felicia Scorpio questions whether redemption comes with accountability, or if Brad's presence risks reopening wounds best left closed. Portia Robinson is openly wary, especially with hospital stability already under pressure. And then there are those who know Brad all too well. Those who remember how convincing he can be. How vulnerable. How dangerous when cornered. The preview promises heated debates in the hospital boardroom, whispered conversations in hallways, and more than one confrontation that teeters on the edge of emotional collapse. Brad isn't just returning to a place. He's returning to judgment. Even in absence, Britt Westbourne looms large over Brad's story. Their friendship was one of General Hospital's most layered bonds, equal parts loyalty, manipulation, and genuine affection. Britt was often Brad's anchor and his enabler, the person who saw him clearly and loved him anyway. With Britt gone, Brad returns to a town where his greatest ally no longer exists. The preview includes a quiet, devastating moment. Brad alone in the hospital chapel, staring at a candle lit in Britt's memory. No dialogue. Just tears he refuses to let fall. This moment reframes Brad entirely. He's not coming back for chaos. He's coming back because he's lost. And Port Charles is the only place that ever felt like home, even when it hated him. One of the biggest surprises teased in the weekly preview is Brad's professional future. Against all odds, Brad is offered a chance to work again, though not without conditions. The hospital needs skilled lab technicians. Brad is skilled. But trust is another matter entirely. The offer comes with strings. Probationary oversight. Limited access. Zero tolerance for mistakes. And not everyone agrees with the decision. Arguments erupt. Lines are drawn. The question echoes again and again. Brad accepts the terms without hesitation. Because this time, failure isn't an option. Of course, this is General Hospital. And peace never lasts. The preview ends with a chilling tease. Brad overhears something he shouldn't. A conversation. A secret. A potential scandal brewing within the hospital walls. The camera lingers on his face. Is that fear? Or calculation? Brad Cooper has always been at his most dangerous when he knows something valuable. The question isn't whether Brad will be tempted. It's whether he's strong enough to resist becoming the man everyone expects him to be. Parry Shen's return isn't just fan service. It's a statement. The preview showcases a more restrained, emotionally layered Brad. Gone is the jittery schema of earlier years. In his place stands a man who has been broken, humbled, and reshaped by consequence. Shen's performance promises nuance. Regret without self-pity. Hope without entitlement. Love without manipulation. It's the kind of return that doesn't erase the past, it confronts it head-on. Brad Cooper's return isn't a short-term storyline. It's a slow burn that will ripple outward, affecting multiple characters and story arcs. Expect emotional fallout with Lucas that refuses to be neatly resolved. Moral debates that challenge the hospital's leadership. Temptations that test Brad's growth. Unexpected alliances. And bitter enemies. Most of all, expect General Hospital to ask one of its oldest, most compelling questions. Can people truly change, or do they simply learn to hide who they've always been? Brad Cooper is back. And Port Charles will never be the same. The weekly preview makes one thing crystal clear. Parry Shen's return as Brad Cooper is not about nostalgia. It's about consequence, redemption, and the uncomfortable truth that sometimes the people we least trust are the ones who understand our flaws best, because they share them. Love him or hate him, Brad Cooper is a catalyst. And as General Hospital fans know all too well, catalysts always spark something unforgettable. Stay tuned.